Hey, everybody. Guess what time it is? That's right, it's Friday night, and if you're watching right now live, then we want to say hi. Welcome to the third week of September. We're going to be doing the top 10. We're going to be talking about Batman Day. And if you wanted to know why Batman has the big finger in the middle of it, it's because the real creator of Batman is Bill Finger. And one other thing that I just wanted to throw out to you guys, hi, Kevin. Hi, Miracleman. And guess what? It's Friday, you bastards. The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic book community. Comic creators and comic fans, tonight you are seen, heard, recognized, because comics are for everyone. Live from Miami, Florida, broadcasting around the world, this is the Not Near Mint Show. Oh, welcome to the show, everybody. It's the end of the week. I just woke up, so if I sound a little bit froggy in the throat, that kind of makes sense. But been in trial all week and then got back from Key West after being awake since 3 a.m., so you can tell that we really love our comics here. How are you doing, Kev?
What a week, huh? But hanging in there. It's been a long one. I had to get up super early this morning to make sure my son got to workouts this morning. So I've been up since like 5 a.m. I'm pretty wiped.
5 a.m. sounds about right. Good thing at least we're just talking about things we like.
By himself yet.
And how old?
He's 16.
Well, you can be rest assured that he'll finally get his full ass in gear by the time he gets his first job, maybe in 21, 22.
Right.
Saw a video earlier this week where it was this teacher talking to their students going, if you can't show up on time, if you can't speak coherent sentences, not even McDonald's is going to hire you. Yeah, McDonald's hires anyone. Like, no, they don't.
Not anymore.
Miracleman. Hey, there you are, Miracleman. Looks like we lost
You get a
your
job
video.
in government.
What's up there, guys? How are you tonight? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yay! 9/19/25. Ready to get the show on the road.
And want to say hi to everybody that's watching in the chat. Hey, John, good to see you. Yeah, do your worst because that is my last name. And don't you forget. Say hi back, and he's good to be here. Hey, Gabe, good to see you a bit again this week. And we get our gang sign from the from Star Trek. So should we jump right into top 10?
Let's make it happen, Captain.
All right, let's see if we can do this in less than like 10 minutes. I don't know if I can, but hey.
Good luck with that.
I mean, guess what? There are some books on here that might have something to do with the subject matter of the show tonight, which is Batman Day. What is Batman Day? Well, tomorrow, your comic book stores are going to have a bunch of these WIP. Admittedly, I don't know what that stands for. I didn't look it up prior to broadcast. So, yeah, if you go to your local comic store and do call just to make sure, or you can even look on a website that'll give you a list of stores that are participating in Batman Day. And once you get there, you can probably get, I don't think anything's free, like Free Comic Day, but it'll have some reprints of the Batman Robin. And it'll even have a sampler if your shop isn't afraid of controversy and they didn't already sell the damn thing for $25. It's a sampler that features the Batman one and the Red Hood that we've been discussing from last week. So just a reminder, the top 10 that I do each week, it is based off of the 29,202 comic books that are behind me. I am a hoarder. But nevertheless, this is what I do. I have this all in CLZ, and as long as you have a subscription to CovrPrice, you hit that value update button and it spits out a list of things that went up, things that went down. It's based off of one confirmed sale at least. Some of these have had many, so it kind of picks the best and worst. So let's take a look and see what are the bottom 5 crashes. And I probably should have set up this camera before broadcast, but it's been a long day. Let's just move this back.
Just so you know, WIP means work in progress.
So yeah, there's this I mean, I can't really show it here. So if you see a size of a regular comic like this,
Yeah.
it's about 4 times the size of this. It's an 11 by 17, which is the size of a printed comic book page. And oh boy, this thing is the new Absolute Batman black and white. Runs for about $15, but I mean, if you have a place to put it, there's literally no Mylar that's made for it. I'm not even aware of bags that can fit it, but it looks pretty. And if you're studying the art, hey, you could do worse. All right, so these are the ones that fell off the most this week, and we're going to start with a classic. I mean, he's inevitable, but at the same time, he's down. This is number 10, Iron Man number 55. It's the first appearance of Thanos, first Drax, first Eros, later Star Fox, first Blood Brothers, Mentor, and Kronos. Those are all kind of relatives of the mad Eternal known as Thanos. He likes snapping. He was part of the Zoot Suit riots back in the early part of the 1900s. So this thing here came out in 1972 and on a very fine minus. It dropped all the way down to $500. It dropped $244. $500 is what somebody picked this up for.
Would it shock you to find out that the Zoot Suit riots were actually a racially motivated hate crime perpetrated upon Mexican immigrants?
I mean, considering the trajectory of our country as of late, it's not surprising. But if you would have asked me about 5 years ago, yeah, that would have been not just surprising, but horrifying. And it's still horrifying. But yeah, 2025 has done a number on us, hasn't it?
Sure has. Sure has.
Well, there you go for number 10. We're going to scroll on through to number 9, which is Marvel Premiere number 15. First appearance of Iron Fist, Danny Rand, and the debut of Kunlun. Now, this came out in 1974, and if you're looking for a high-grade copy, I was able to find mine right after the show was canceled initially, which is usually a good bet. If you're trying to find something and you don't want to pay too much for it, don't buy it the week of release. Don't wait for the show to have its first trailer because it's going to be way too up. Wait till it's over, then get it. More often than not, you'll probably pay a lot less because people forget. They have a very short-term memory. But as you see this week, our number 4 book, if you stay tuned, you're going to see people still have a memory, but now it's just switching their preferences because as humans, that's all we are, a collection of preferences.
What did this go down?
So this came out in 1974, near mint condition, 9.0. It dropped $139. $256 is what somebody picked it up for this week.
That book is just free-falled, irregular, erratic for years and years and years. It's almost $1,000 book at one point.
Yeah, well, that was wild. Wild.
That was wild, yeah.
Yeah. That was speculation driving that price. The value on this book, I honestly think, is probably between the $150 and $180 mark. It is a first appearance of a popular character, but it's Bronze Age Marvel. They weren't exactly low print runs. I see them all the time. They're not hard to come up with. And honestly, if you're getting anything under than a 9.8, at the 9.8 price, or sorry, the 9.6 price should be that 150 to 180, in my opinion. Anything from a 9 to a 9.6, you shouldn't pay more than $80 for it. Again, that's just my opinion.
And that's pretty close to what I got mine for, because right after the cancellation of the show, I think with shipping, I got this for $120 or so. I even had to ask the seller, hey, does it have the Marvel value stamp? He's like, what are you talking about? Can you just open up the book and make sure that nothing's cut out? And he did. And I was the only person that bid for it. So it shows you right after cancellation, people don't care.
Yep.
But you know who does care?
That's one of the few books you really need to check that it has the value stamp.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that a Sabretooth one? What was the value stamp on that one?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know what it was. Yeah.
That great legend watching. Perhaps Robert there in the chat can let us know what the Marvel value stamp is. Because for me to stop the show dead, we're going to be waiting like 2-3 minutes.
I can get mine and look real quick. It's right over there.
Stop judging me for asking the question. Stop judging me.
Hey, unlike the White House, I appreciate it when you ask questions. Well, as he's going to run and pull that up, Yeah, this thing dropped to 256. You could probably even get it for less if you're not looking for the top tier condition. And you don't necessarily need the top tier condition because as we've been watching, this year is much different from the last. Oh, here, I'm going to throw him up.
Wait, is that the right book?
Wait.
Hold your book up.
Marvel Premiere?
Oh, sorry. I got Iron Fist 1. You're right. Let me go.
I was like, that's
don't
blue.
do a tape pull.
I know that. just move on. What's the next book? We can follow up with Kevin when he comes back.
So
we're only on book 9, and it's like,
yeah, that's fine. I've been trying to do 10 minutes. 10 minutes doesn't happen with our top 10 list. I'm not as proficient as Tom or many of the other shows that do this. We're here to chat. We're hanging out. It's Friday, you bastards.
We also don't shut the fuck up.
All right, so that was number 9. Here's number 8.
It's been a long
never
damn
do.
week.
We really. That, and I've been doing nothing but drinking these Monster Energy drinks, which I really shouldn't be putting over the comics.
No, you shouldn't.
But once you see a lot, apparently. Electro.
Oh, well, to be fair, probably one of the most badass costumes of the entire Bronze Age.
I agree.
All right. Well, back over to Jungle Action 6 is the first appearance of Killmonger. And why is this in the bottom 5? Because it dropped about half of its value. It dropped $42, came out in 1973, and a very fine 7.0 raw. Somebody paid $81 for this. It is now a sub $100 book if you're looking for higher mid-grade. But knowing that the MCU had killed off the character because they were still in a phase where they were going, hey, once we introduce a villain, let's just make sure that the superhero deals with his character permanently. And they brought him back in What If, which is also on the list later on this evening. But yeah, we're likely not going to be seeing Killmonger for any bit of time. But yeah, this thing dropped half its value. So we are now seeing a sale that just happened, $81, down 42. Our number 7 book, we're going to do a Batman book. This is where it all begins. Issue 423, this is when Todd McFarlane does a non-key that becomes a hit. There's no first appearance in this. There's nothing truly key about it. What is it? It's just a pretty cover. A pretty cover that's missing some of the moon being colored in. He didn't neglect to draw the line. The line is there. The colorist did not add the rest of the moon. So every time that you see a redo, a homage of this cover, yeah, they always color in the moon. If you want it to be accurate, don't color in that section. So this book dropped this week, came out in 1988 in an 8.0 very fine raw, dropped $41. Probably because there's a ton of these out there. Plus a second print that's really difficult to discover the how it's a second print. So if you wanted to get it this week, somebody paid $102, down 41.
I
you
still
thought
think
that
that's
one...
one of the most overpriced books in the modern era.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Now, if you thought that was overpriced, where do you see the number 6 book? And that dropped as well, but not nearly as significantly as number 423.
Oh, by the way,
it is. Ooh, don't got it. But you can. I mean, there's like a billion. Well, not a billion. There's probably at least 400,000 out there.
I'm going to duck, but I'm not a huge Todd McFarlane fan.
That book, I think I have 4 copies of. And I don't think I've ever spent more than $1.50 on it.
I think he needs one.
He might get one.
Well, guess what? It dropped $27 this week. Came out in, actually, no, that one was the 1988 book. I was about to start talking about the next one that I had on the list.
Oh.
The next one on the list is Batman 608, the second print. And it is low print because nobody quite expected that the second print would have this kick-ass looking Jim Lee cover. And Jim Lee seems to be a figure on Batman. So when you see Jim Lee doing a cover, it's probably not a bad idea to pick it up. Reason why? This thing got up high. If you wanted the first print, you can get $30, maybe a little under, maybe a little over. But the second print, that shot up to $50 within about a week or two of release, and it has not come down since. I mean, it's popped up and dropped off here and there, but it's like a steady rise, like the stock market, but not the stock market later this year. So this second print came out in 2002, near mint copy, dropped $27, still $173. That's a lot of money. Not cheap. It's cool, but is it $173 cool? I don't know. Somebody thought so this week. What did I pay? I paid $225 back when it came out. Because I just went cool cover. Didn't even realize it was a second print. I thought it was an alternative variant. Oops. I'm okay with that. That was back in a time where I thought second prints are for cheap people. And what did I do? I spent like $300 on a Captain Marvel 17 second print because it featured a first cover appearance. Welcome to comics. It's weird. We can be weird sometimes. It's fine. It's eccentric. It's fun. That's what
back then, second prints were the cheap option. It's only a recent phenomenon with this second print nonsense.
And I'm pretty sure right after you have the major YouTube channels and influencers on social media talking about it, it got other people to say, well, I need this. That's when the FOMO started going through the roof. Yeah. And you get enough people talking about something, and it doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or if anybody even realized, hey, there's pages in this side. They just start throwing money at it. It becomes that meme of shut up and take my money. Well, speaking of shut up and take my money, here are now the top 5 comic books that went up. He don't got it yet, but he probably can. And check out garage sales this weekend. Check out your local swap shops. Take a look at flea markets. And if you're walking by, just ask people as you're passing, hey, you got any comics? You never know. Somebody might have a box and this is inside. And just like the tip that I gave last week on my YouTube shorts, which I do on Saturday mornings now, that tip is when you find a book like this or something that's really expensive in a short box or a long box, just leave it in there, keep flipping through and have an idea how much the box should be and go, how much for the box? They're not going to look up every book, especially when you get to this one here and you leave it in the middle and they'll just go like, I don't know, like $500 for the box. Well, I'm a retailer, so I need to make sure I make a profit on this. I can do 50 cents a box or a book. How about we go $150 for the box? And then shut up. Why? Because the next person to speak loses.
That's true. That is. I will say that. That is accurate.
It's a sales tactic. And where did I learn that from? A TV show about what was? I think it was Enron or something way back in the 90s, and it stuck with me ever since. And it's been pretty true. So I still use it. So here we go. The top 5 spikes. Number 5. We got a spicy cover by John Byrne. There's nothing pretty key about it other than the pretty cover. So what's special about this here? Just the fact that it's a pretty cover. Nothing key. It's very much like the Batman 423 or the Hulk 340. No first appearances, just something pretty. So what happened with this? It went up $39.
Oh my God.
It came out in 1991. Near mint. Great. I mean, books this recent, hopefully they are, or close to it, like very fine. Up 39. Somebody paid this week $90.
That's insane.
Which is what people were paying for the issue 40, which was the naked jump rope cover. Well,
right.
It's expanding to the other spicy covers. If she's showing some skin, you might as well pick it up if you can find it for a good price. Now, the number 4 book, again, a little bit of controversy, but again, we deal with controversy on this show and we're okay with that. And this is a show for those that are over the age of 18. So when you see the next book here, we're not going to go overboard. We're not going to be part of the raging psychopaths that call for murder, because that is horrifying and wrong. But still, well, here we go. Red Hood number 1B. It's the Jim Lee cover. It looks like this is now going to be the winner so far of the different Red Hood books that came out. The issue 1 was on the list last week at number 5. And the last week, the books were going for about $30. There was a high of about $50. there was a high of about 55, 56 for this one here, but it settled around $46. It is still up $41. And the reason that this thing is up is because it's the first and only issue, because the writer Gretchen Felker Martin made some tweets right after an event that was tragic to some, and some people celebrated and then got fired. So this is a ghoulish book. Any way you want to look at it, because Gretchen lost her job for this. Apparently, it came out later that she's getting paid along with the rest of the creative team for issues 2 and 3, but will not see print. This weekend, tomorrow for Batman Day, there is that sampler that has the cover A split with a Batman 1 that some people have already started selling for $25 on eBay.
Fucking ghouls.
So this thing is only... It really is. I mean, this thing, it's a great cover. Don't get me wrong. I used it on the banner because it's a fun cover, and it contrasted nicely with the Batman 608 second print. So if you wait about 2 to 6 weeks, because the news cycle keeps going and going and going like an Energizer bunny, and you'll finally be able to get this likely for about $10 or under, because people forget. But not forgetting so much to go, okay, let's figure out which cover's the best one. So the first issue is still going for about $25, $30. My comic shop that I go to, they were selling theirs for about $20 just to get rid of them, because even he realizes there is a very short shelf life for something that only has to do with the news and nothing to do with comics itself. Because any first appearance, death, whatever that happened in this book, it doesn't matter. Because unless a new writer is going to take over some of those characters, it'll become part of the dustbin of history, which is probably where it will end up a few years from now. So more Batman books on the way. The number 3 book we have here is me bashing the camera with a comic book, always fun. This is Batman number 635. It's the first full appearance of Red Hood, because writer Judd Winnick from The Road Rules started writing on this title and did some really good things with it right after Jeff Loeb finished with Hush. But during Hush, they had a character that looked like Red Hood, turned out to be Clayface, I think. And people liked that idea enough. They went, let's do it, because it looks like Marvel's going to do something with Bucky. Like, there's 3 rules in comics. 3 rules. They've been violated already. Like, 1, you do not bring back people from the dead, such as, and only these people, Uncle Ben, Bucky, and who was the third?
Jason
Todd. And what did they do in like the same month or so? They brought back Bucky as the Winter Soldier, and they brought back Jason Todd as the Red Hood.
Yep.
Very similar stories, but back then they were doing things between Marvel and DC where who really cares what came first as long as you got a good story. And if you watch the animated versions of this, the animated version was actually even better. I can't say that about a lot of things, but the Red Hood movie was probably in my top 3 or 5 Batman animated or Batman anythings, because it went fast, it went hard. There was a fight between Red Hood running away where he turns around, slices the rope, and that's when Batman realizes, I know who this is, but it can't possibly be him. It was him. So this thing went up this week. How badly did it go up? For a 9.0 raw near mint condition from 2004, $114 somebody paid. It is up $41. And if you can't afford something that much, they just released this a few weeks ago, which might be why it's up, along with, the controversial Red Hood issue. But here's a foil version that you could get easily for about $5 or $6. And there's a regular cover A that's probably only $3 or $4. Next up, number 2. This thing went up again, and it's up and down. So 1997, you got What If 105 from Volume 2. It's the first appearance of Spider-Girl, Mayday Parker, daughter of Peter Parker and Mary Jane, which seems to be less and less that we expect that to actually happen. But we still look to this and its original series, because the original series was so beloved that every time they tried canceling it because it dropped under I guess it was like 10,000 readership, but those readers were very vocal. Similar to the way the awful people on the CG end of comics are vocal, but these people were vocal not for hate, but for love, because they love this character and they keep trying to bring her back. Please make it happen. So this thing went up $49 from 1997. Very fine condition. Somebody paid $120 for it.
Jesus
And
Christ.
to me, that seems like it's a lot. If you're going to be paying over $100, you should probably not be looking for the direct edition. Try finding the newsstand. It's a bit of a challenge, but in the end, it would be worth it. Newsstands do tend to, just due to the fact it's a 90s book and the page quality is what it is. Some of the covers could be a little yellow. That's called foxing, and it's just been left out, not in a bag, no board, just sitting there out in the open, because who gave a crap about Spider-Girl? It's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man sells Titans. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, here we go. Our number one book, Brave and the Bold, number 93. It's a classic cover by Neil Adams. That's Batman and the House of Mystery. And I didn't skip over anything. This was the top book on the CLZ list. And I guess there must be something going on right now for YouTube, because we really dropped off. Or I'm talking about things no one wants to listen to. So Brave and the Bold 93, classic cover by Neil Adams. It is up $77. I have a pretty nice copy in 8.0, very fine condition. Somebody wound up paying $150 for this. I paid $30. 30. That's how much I got this for. What the hell? I don't get it.
I don't understand that at all. I mean, it's a cool cover.
So it is. It's a cool cover,
But it's
there's
Brave
no
and the Bold. Look,
perseverance.
like I have a special place in my heart for the DC team up books, but by and large, not great stories, man.
I mean, when people were buying Brave and the Bold back then, it was because they were getting it because out of all the Batman titles, that was the one that had the best art. I mean, you could go and read the other Batman, but it was still like the same, not even Jim Aparo. That was well before that. And readers were saying, we want this guy on the Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the best Bat book. So eventually they caved in. They put Neil Adams on the covered issue 200, and eventually he finally made it into the rest of the run.
Yeah.
But just like I always say about these books here for the top 10, I'm not a reseller. I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to help you out there make sure that, hey, do I want to overspend or do I want to wait a little bit? Or, hey, that thing dropped off like crazy. Maybe I can now afford this one thing I've been looking forward to for a really long time. So again, the list is to help collectors determine whether they should wait or buy. 6 weeks to 6 months if something's up. You wait 6 weeks. If it hasn't come down, you wait 6 months. If it hasn't come down after 6 months, you might as well just buy it because it's not likely to come down. And if it's Action Comics #1 and you can afford it, that thing is always going to be up there. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All right. So those were the top 10. We only did it in 28 minutes.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
We're like 22 because we were at 6 or 7 minutes when you started.
How about that?
There you go.
There we go.
Well, let's go back here to the chat and see what people are talking about. So Gabe is saying that he thinks there's 2 free comics, the new Batman and Robin and the first issue of Batman Year 2. So I'm going to look for that. There's also a new printing of Batman, Absolute Batman 1 for $3. So I just picked up the Jay Lee cover. I think that was the 8th print. Very pretty cover. Yep. But I have almost a half a long box filled with nothing but Absolute comic books. And I don't want this to become like the Krakoa age where I then have 2 long boxes of X-Men that I won't ever read again.
Yep.
Or probably ever. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And here we got Great Legend. Hey there, Robert. Anybody not subscribed to Great Legend? He's been doing YouTube longer than I have, longer than any comic YouTuber that I know. And he has some amazing books. Miracleman says $80 more appropriate price, and I guess that must have been one of the things that was over 100. Year 2, great story. Also featured some Todd McFarlane covers that, I mean, at one point you could get the full 4 issues for $20. Now they're charging $20 at least for each individual issue. Crazy. Even the one that wasn't Todd McFarlane. Weird. Original cover on 608 is great too, of course, Jim Lee. But a lot of us didn't expect that second print, and they sold fast.
Yeah.
And it's probably underneath 1,000 because they didn't think that many people would have needed it. So 2,000 at most. And take a look at Invincible Comics right now. The average print run on any of them was between 7,000 to 15,000, which is really low. And this is why you're seeing random ass issues going for $200. And I sold that during our Black Friday auction in 2019 or so for the whole run, minus the first 6 issues that I sold way too early for almost nothing because I wanted to pay for a girlfriend to go out on a birthday, and it just fell apart. We broke up. Gwen Stacy, very cool cover. Okay, there we go. That's everything. Anybody got books that they just pulled or things that they want to show that they just got this week?
I got stuff I got this week, but Kevin, you look very excited. I saw your little hands going there. Do you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, I can. Sure.
Let's see what you got.
Let's see what I got. I got some stuff. I got a decent size set, including a slab that I'm very excited to show off.
Ooh.
I know, right? Get that banger alert ready, maybe. All right, so let me maximize my screen here. So a lot of these you have seen other issues. You can tell I'm working on runs. So this is All-Star Western number 2 that I picked up this week. Speaking of Neil Adams covers, still need 10. I'm going to need 10 forever, probably. I'll get it eventually, the first Jonah Hex, but I'm working my way around those. A little blurry here.
It's nice. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's reflective, too.
It's a Mylar.
That's the problem with Mylars. You want to protect your books, but also they look like a mirror when you show them.
Yeah, I should take them out, but I'm lazy. Y'all have been seeing these over the weeks, but I got a couple more Amazing World of DC Comics. This is number 4. This is the Batman feature, so I guess this counts as a Batman book for the week. Has a cool Catwoman cover on the back.
That's great. That's great. Worst costume design for her ever. Also my favorite.
Although, Miracleman, if you really want to look, can you bring that cover back up for a second?
The back cover?
Yeah, because I'm going to, I feel like I need to throw this back up here again. When I look at that tail, do you know what I'm thinking of?
We sure do.
Do I need to say it?
Sure, why not?
So some people, in order to get prepared for some fun butt stuff, you might want to put a plug in. It looks like Catwoman's been wearing that plug in that costume for a very long time, and I am here for it.
It's a Greek cat, is what he's trying to say, people. It's a Greek cat.
Too much information there. All right, this is the last issue. This is number 17. This is the Shazam issue. So and here's the back, a nice little Captain Marvel, Dr. Savannah, Tony Tiger kind of thing going on here. I'm down to needing one more. I need number 15, which is the Wonder Woman issue. It has kind of a Linda Carter cover, so fairly high demand on that.
That's the most Emil Gargunza-looking Savannah I've ever seen.
I don't know who did the back here. That's John Workman.
Nice.
I got an issue of Adam and Hawkman. This is the second appearance of the Gentleman Ghost. That's the one I've been looking for a while.
That's a beauty.
Yeah. Speaking of second appearances, there's the second appearance of Metamorpho. This is Brave and the Bold number 58, if I remember correctly.
I got that one.
I can't remember if I got that one. I have the first. I just can't remember if I got the second.
All right. Y'all know I love the Westerns. I got an issue 1 of The Kid from Texas, or looking at it in reverse, it looks like The Kid from Taxes, but that's okay. The Kid from Texas. Nice. I think it's a Manili. Who is this cover? That's John Severin cover. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks like Severin.
Yeah. Ringo Kid number, I can never remember these. Ringo Kid number 9. I just got this one today, so it's fresh out of the package.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this stuff. I really do. I got an issue of Tales to Astonish as an upgrade for me. Tales to Astonish 97. A little cameo of the X-Men in this issue, in case anyone was curious about that. All right. And don't laugh at me, but as a 50s Western nerd, all right, this is one of what I would call an unofficial official grail. All right.
Let's see it. Excited.
It's Black Rider number 1. And y'all know why this.
Warning. Warning, warning, banger alert, banger alert.
What's the big
That's
deal
Stan
about that?
Lee.
It's Stan Lee on the cover in costume. Yeah.
That's Lee of Stan.
That is Lee of Stan. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Who's the publisher on? Was that a Marvel?
This
that a
is
Timely?
Marvel Timely. Yeah, it's
Okay.
sort of pre-Marvel Timely, right before it changed to Alice.
Okay. All right.
I love this. That's from 1950, in case you're curious. So
Huh.
this is a big one that I've wanted for a long time. I got it on Heritage. I overpaid for it, but this is one that's been on my list for a while, and there aren't any of them. So I don't like overpaying, but in rare exceptions, when the population of a book is so low, I'll pay a little more than fair market value just to make sure I get it.
Is that when he was still going
And
by
what is that,
Stan Lee?
59,
Not
56?
Stan Lee?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I think he's Stan Lee by this point.
Okay.
Not Stanley Lieber or anything.
I think it was Stan Lee ever since the 40s.
I brought a
could
couple
be
of
wrong.
Batman books too, but we can wait on those unless you want me to show them now.
But let's do a cycle through and we'll come back and show the Batman books towards the end, because all my Batman books were in my top 10 because I had very little time to pull anything.
I just have two, so it won't take me long either.
That
All right.
was 1950, by the way.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. So he was young.
Yeah.
He had hair and it was black.
Well, you don't know. He's wearing a hat. So
We don't know
he's
if he had
probably
hair.
got the receding hairline by then.
Right. Let's not cast aspersions here.
Um,
So I got a significant pile of books. We're not going to show them all off today because there's just not enough time. It'd be an hour-long show of me just showing books. But I'm going to show you some really cool ones here. I just don't know where to start. You know where I'm going to start? I already showed you that one. That one had a... I think I should... Actually, now that I'm looking at these, I'm pretty sure I showed you these. Hold on. Stand by. I may have shown you some of these. I know I didn't show you these, so I'll show you these. Hold on. Stop. Will you stop yelling at me? Jesus Christ. So,
damn it, Miracleman.
I know. Everybody's always yelling.
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
I know, right? So Avatar, back in the day, early Avatar was real low-grade black and white books. When they first started making a push into higher grade stuff, they did a lot of licensed stuff. Did a lot of horror licensed stuff. Some of those books, pretty pricey, but they also did a Frank Miller RoboCop. Okay. Kind of hard to find.
I remember that series, yes.
Kind of hard to find. Interiors by one of my absolute favorite artists, Juan Jose Rip. Okay. Which his art was literally made for a RoboCop book. Look at that.
Whoa. Jose Van Rip did that original series from Marvel. Okay. That was the newer stuff from like the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
New stuff. This is like 09.
Okay.
I want to say 06.
I got to know who he was because of Crossed.
Right. Mid-aughts, this came out. This was actually some of his earliest stuff. He did, I think, like the Freddy Krueger book, the Friday the 13th book. He might have worked on the Jason book. Juan Jose Rip, if you haven't bought his work before, you are honestly missing out on one of the best modern artists in comics. His level of detail is absolutely insane. He did another book called Black Summer, which is one of my favorite Avatar books ever made. Unfortunately, Warren Ellis's name is tied to it, and Warren has still not done the necessary work to pull himself out of the doghouse and to show that his contrition towards his errors of his life. But that doesn't mean we should punish Juan. He's a fantastic artist. Make sure you take a look for his work. Then look at this book. Now, this is a book that when I saw it, the first thing that popped in my mind is, this is me as a superhero. MILF Magnet, #1 from Moonstone Books. That's right. I said MILF. It's good for your bones. Then we got some Tales of the Champions, #1 right here. Tales of the Champions. This is a heroic publishing book. Heroic. It's very Bronze Age-ish superhero stories. There's a continuity. They get really tied up in it. Black Summer's amazing, Gabriel. They get really tied up. And when I say really tied up, like they have multiple ongoing books and have done one-shots where gender bending happens. And then we're not talking like Eastern manga gender bending. This is like men just transported into the body of a woman, and they're forced to live as a sexy woman. It's telling. Wolf number 5. So Wolf was one of the Atlas Seaboard books of the 70s. In the early 2000s, what is this? No, mid 2000s, so 2012 actually, early 2010s. Arden, the owner of Atlas Seaboard, got a bunch of really great creators, Steve Niels, to come out. I believe Tony Isabella. I forget Tony's name now that she has transitioned. But worked on it. Isabella worked on it as well. They did another book. She did another book. I can't remember what it was. But these are really fun. These are really good. Really disappointing that they didn't take off. X-Ray Comics with an X, so it's underground. From Spectrum. It's definitely a 90s book. That's a bit naughty. We'll save that till the end. I got two other real I didn't pull that down. Two other real oddball things. Here's one of them. This is Lone Star Press did a book from Bill Willingham called Pantheon. And this is their sneak peek preview pack that they sent out to retailers with sneak peeks of the artwork for the 4 issues they had planned to come out that year. So you don't get to see these very often. I have a couple of previews books that were like legitimate, just retailer previews. I had to grab this when I found it. It's just so cool, right? These smaller press publishers did it more than the big guys did, but I've got a couple of previews books from DC from back in the day. I was really excited to find this. There's no value. Nobody's ever going to want this ever. It was just exciting for me. Charlton Bullseye number 5. The Charlton Bullseye magazines.
That's nice.
Collected unprinted material from Charlton and also allowed fans to work on Charlton superheroes. Super cool concept, right? 5 issues total. There's a Judo Master one. I want to say there's a Captain Atom one, but question here. Really, 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 really cool stuff. And then I was at a flea market last week. Check this out. $1. Hellraiser number 1. First cover appearance of Pinhead.
Technically, it's his first cover appearance. His first full appearance in a story is in issue 2.
That's correct. Another Juan Jose. Now, Rip did the cover. This is RoboCop Killing Machine. This was a mini series that came out after the RoboCop book that I just did. This is a wraparound cover. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Paid a couple more bucks for that. Another What If number 12. Look at that. Throg. Listen, you give me a good Throg book any day of the week. Alfred Harvey's Black Cat. Check this out. New modern story plus reprints of the old Golden Age stuff. Really good. It was just a one shot. I don't know if they ever even tried to make more. I don't know what this is from. I'm sure it came with something else. 50 Who Made DC Great. I'm pretty sure this came with a book with like another thing from the Warner Brothers store back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
It has to.
I was going to say it looks like Time magazine release or something.
Right. I know I have some stuff that this might have very well come with it, but like, just look at that. I mean, I got this for $1. Even if I had one, it was worth a buck, right? It's fantastic. And it's not just creators. It's, different organizations, different groups, actors that help to really make DC what it is at the time. And I think this was in the early, suddenly 50 years later. So that would have been 1989, maybe? I forgot, probably thereabouts. 2 books, really hard to find. Also found them at the flea market. I left one behind that, gosh, I'm hoping is still there when I go back on Sunday. Check this out. Tim Vigil had his own publishing company called North Star Publishing.
Oh, yeah.
He did some extremely wild releases. Here's one of them. North Star number 1, autographed by Tim Vigil.
By everybody.
By one of the writers, Mort Castle, and by the publisher, the editor, Mark Burnham. Look at that. 387 out of 1,000. Beautiful black and white. Tim Vigil, Tim Tyler. It came with a poster. Check this out. Poster of the cover. Look at that. Yeah, pretty cool. Not only did I get that, but I also got this. Check this out. Tim Vigil's Omega, also
Oh, God
autographed.
damn it. I've been looking for that for fucking ever.
Are you shut up? Also autographed by Tim Vigil. I paid
Warning, 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 warning. Banger alert, banger alert.
I
It's the
paid
first damn appearance of Faust.
I paid $1 American for this book.
I was ready to pay $100. Then I was ready to pay $200, and I just gave up. I can't find it.
Yeah, it's you know what's funny? The book that I left behind was actually the special edition of Faust #1 that was also autographed, and I didn't realize it when I saw it, and I should have known that when I saw it, but it just didn't click. I should have known better. My spider sense tingled, and I didn't listen to my spider sense. You know, it's funny that I said
Tingled within me.
right? But $1, $1. This guy says he's got more comics.
Sometimes I hate you. Today's that day.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd hate me too if I was you on this one.
I'm glad some of y'all have flea market luck because I have no luck at anything.
Oh,
none.
yeah, so my main flea is dead. I used to have a great flea market. It was top notch. Used to score there every single time I went, big time. Last 2-3 years, it's crap. You know, I think 2 weeks ago I went there. I picked up like maybe 8 books, and then this past week I went, there was literally nothing. So I went to another flea that's down the street, and it's normally crappy. Super crappy. But I was like, I'm down here. I picked up nothing. So I drove down there, one guy with comics, and this is what the kind of stuff he had in his bin.
Nice. I find like VG copies of Blood Wolf for $25.
Right. That's common. That's common. Now, couple of things. These actually got shipped to me from Jim Balance website. Tarot number 51. Tarot number 60. And Tarot number 61. And the Kickstarter special that I did not order off the Kickstarter. They had the Holly G variant on the website, issue 125. Tarot's not going to be carried by any distributor, folks. They're becoming a Kickstarter only. If you like Tarot, you're going to have to be doing some Kickstarters. All right. And then, you know, some good fill-in stuff here. There's a nice little low key for Thunderbolts. Still trying to finish that off. I got a huge pile. I won't show them all today. An Exiles issue. Haven't finished that yet. I'm getting pretty close, though. An Emma Frost issue I needed. Trying to finish off Trinity. I don't know why I'm trying to finish off Trinity other than the crime syndicates in it, but I am trying to finish off Trinity. Check this out. Final issue.
I had the whole thing. I got rid of it from that guy that I sold 8 long boxes for a very low amount. But out of all the series to keep, it's that 52 Trinity. It just felt, hey, that made some money. Do you like money? Let's print more of these.
Right. That was pretty much what it was.
Miracle, how big is your collection overall?
38,800 thereabouts, somewhere in that vicinity. So that's Steel number 52. That's the final issue of the original Steel run. I think there's only one Steel run, so you know, both original and most current. Legends of the DC Universe number 17. Little miscut on that one, but this is great. I don't know how I was passing this up when it came out. Youngblood. There we go. Little Youngblood from like volume 4, volume 5, something like that. Uncanny number 504. Again, how I was passing up a Terry Dodson cover filled with beautiful women, I'll never know. Last issue I needed of the Ultimate New Ultimates, number 5. Look at that Frank Cho. Gorgeous. I've been really doing in the Ultimate Comics kick, an old Ultimate Comics, because there's an Ultimate Comics X-Men number 1. Now, this is post destruction of the world. This is after everybody died. And Ultimate Comics, the Ultimates number 9. Look at that Maker cover. That's a more important one. Thundercats number 20. Look at that.
You're just all over the place.
Oh man, it's eclectic as shit. And then check this out. I found this. Actually, my brother found it for me because he gave it to me because he knows I'm a big Hughes fan. Marvel Swimsuit Special number 3, Adam Hughes cover. That's a beauty. And then 2 last books, they're a little naughty. They're a little naughty. So if you are under the age of 18, now's a time where you must turn off the show. But here we go. The Matrix #2. And
Oh, that's some filth.
The Matrix #3. So that's a good portion of what I picked up this week. We can move along so I don't get
Isn't it beautiful? I mean, Miracle, you're just all over the place, and then I'm like hyper focused on the same stuff every week. That's what makes the hobby so great.
Oh, absolutely. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, right
My-
after
my
showing some
collection's like
filth, I think I'm
5
ready to
pounds.
show. Hey, there are days where I would rather have 5,000 to make it manageable than, I mean, this looks nice, don't get me wrong, but if I ever had to move,
it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Well, I'll put it this way. Real friends help you move.
That's what they say.
Friends will help you move. Real friends help you move bodies.
That's true.
Or long boxes.
Bodies or long boxes, about the same thing.
So do you want to see how many back issues do you think I got this week?
4.
Some,
huh?
Some back issues.
Well, my shop owner, I wasn't expecting this because usually he hasn't been going to what he calls his warehouse. Well, he went to his warehouse and this happened.
What? Get it? Let's see it,
I'm
baby.
low man on the totem pole this week.
It's rare when I get this much stuff. So let's start with let's see here. With the DC stuff. I probably should have put this in some kind of order. Okay, now I think it might be in a little bit of an order. Yeah, you could hear that. That's the sound of a large stack hitting my board. All right, let's jump cameras and see what I got. All right, starting out with the DC 100 pager. This thing here is double-sided.
Nice. Great cover on that.
So, of course, I had to use one of those comic clears for the boards.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Because whenever it looks like this, I will go out of my way to make sure that it gets one of those, just so that if I ever pull it, I can get that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Wait a second. It didn't put your picture in. There you go. One more time.
So you got to do it. If it has a back cover that you can see, it's not an advertisement. You got to get the clears. Absolutely.
Yep.
It's what I always say. If you can afford the comics, you can afford to properly preserve them, and just keeping them in the same bag that you got them in. If you're in a human environment, it will shrivel the bag. That's what I've been doing here. I've been putting all my stuff in Mylight 2s that were the average books, not keys, because all the stuff that was in the OPP shriveled up to crap. So I won't use the OPPs from Comic Clear, but I will use the Mylights on everything else, and it makes it look so much better, and it'll stay that way for a long time. Although I don't have them pulled easily, but boards every at least 5 to 10 years, depending on the book, especially books from the 1980s. Hey, we got Michael Emond. Wow, see? So I guess he's watching and moderating for us tonight. Good to see him, my man. So these boards that I've had in some of these books for at least 5 years now, because during the pandemic, I spent 2 full years putting everything in new bags and boards, which was all Mylar and OPP. So the stuff that I've been changing out of the old OPP, when I'm taking out the board, some of the boards have this yellow spottiness on the sides. That's because it's the acids absorbing from the book into the board itself. So if you keep those boards in there, it'll restain the comic book. So it's probably not a bad idea to switch out those boards and do an inventory every 5 to 10 years, especially for all us. Oh, he just got back from his concert. Nice. Let us know how it was. So yeah, it's best to do those switch outs. So double-sided. Let's keep moving on because I can talk about things forever too, because I am really caffeinated. and I got a little rest. This is the second print of the first appearance of Talon. So second print, you can always tell by looking at the barcode. And if you see the 00021, you know that it's issue 1, but it's the second print.
It's an
Sometime
cover.
Oh, yeah. I was telling my comic book store owner what it was, and he's going, "What's Akira?" Apparently, I have to loan him a DVD. So up until recently, I was not somebody that bought ratio variants, and it's been happening this year because this is the 1 in 100 Joe Kubert incentive variant, and I got this for like $6, which is just a little over cover. Wow. Next up, we have a second print of Justice League America. This was from Brad Meltzer and Ed Bennis way back in the mid-2000s. I love the storyline on this, and I have every issue. So when I saw this for cover price, yes, please. So I got a bunch of Brave and the Bolds too, and they're not great stories, but why did I get these particular ones? For some good reasons, or at least the one good reason is Mike Lehman says, "My name is Rob, and I buy ratio variants." And you're not wrong. I got these because these are Teen Titans crossovers. So there's one. There's another from the 80s because we got to get some communists and we got to get some Ruskies because those were the villains in the 80s and in the 70s.
Dude, that's like 72. What are you talking about?
72. Commune of outcasts. Dirty, no good hippies. All right, now I think we're in the 80s because you have them in these really hyper color cover costumes. And that looks like, is it Opero? I can't tell. I could be wrong.
Hard to tell.
All right. This one here I actually had for a little while. First appearance of Gorilla Grodd and the Pied Piper. Also the second Flash in his own title with Barry Allen. I still need a 105. Then we have the first time he uses the speed treadmill, the Speed Force. There you go. 10 center, 1959 or 1960. And we get some pairing of some of the Rogues, but it's not the full Rogues gallery yet. I think that happens in 139. This is 129. So in 10 issues, that's when you get the Flash Rogues all together. There's since we're a little afraid of talking about death these days, he pre-censored early. This is an early 70s book or late 60s because that's when you tell the 15 figures.
Yeah.
There's a Golden Glider, I think. Not first appearance, but just Golden Glider. Gotta love them legs. Flash also talking about more of that controversial subject we're not allowed to talk about. Another Flash title, but now we have Green Lantern and backups because back then Green Lantern lost his title. And there was no Denny O'Neil with Neil Adams working on it, so he was doing backups in the Flash. And then they went, "Hey, Neil, you want to work on Flash like Superman? Everyone loved your Flash. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll do Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Hey, there's my Shazam number 2 with a photograph cover, because in the 70s they thought people liked this. And I think people at the time didn't like them, and today we just go, "Oh, that's retro. Nice." Those were the DC back issues, and now here's the Marvel. And the first one that's in this stack is stupid because I got rid of the entire series to J Blitz with those 8 boxes. And I even said way back then, my luck, some of these things are going to go up, and I am going to wind up rebuying them. Oh, there's Michael to say, yeah, that was 100% a Paro. And it's called the Cosmic Treadmill, but because my brain is Swiss cheese right now, because it's Friday, you bastards, I've called it something else, something very different. So this is a very different version of White Tiger. She came about 2 years or so after the one that we saw in Daredevil that was used for Daredevil, but this was the Avengers Academy. So this one was probably one that I probably spent the most on this week, but I wanted to get this one back again, so I'm glad I got it. This is a 1 in 50 ratio, because apparently I get ratios now. The week of release, except for the Deadpool Wolverine that I did get this week, because it was $15. So yeah. So this is a 1 in 50 Adam Hughes, and what's special about this one is we have Sam Wilson as Captain America for the first time, and I got this for $8. And if you go to look at it on eBay, you'd probably notice that that's about what it's worth. I thought I was getting something good. Speaking of something good, I have the issue right before Chris Claremont. Hey, I'm looking at some My Lights too.
This is for slabs.
Oh.
Slab size.
And for people that are collecting slabs, right about now, the slabs, unless they're a 9/8 or a very in-demand book, what you'd pay for a slab would be about as much as it would be for a raw right now. But as I've been saying since the beginning, when I started noticing what a Newton ring was, that not all 9/8s are the same. Because some of the older slabs, they have older tags for CGC. So if that usually means it hasn't been cleaned or pressed, so you might be able to get a better grade. And sometimes you get a lesser grade because we can't figure things out anymore, I guess.
I own a grand total of 9.8.
Nice. I own 0. I'm okay with that, though. I probably have plenty of raws. So what's special about issue 101 of Daredevil? I have a lot of Daredevil, most of it, in fact. I'm only missing like maybe 30 issues. Here's Anger the Screamer! And the very next issue is when Chris Claremont writes the first time for Marvel in issue 102. Right. I don't have that yet. I need a 102.
You should get. That's a great run. That's a great run.
Oh, I know. I'll get to it. I mean, I have the what's her name when she goes from Madam McEvil to Moon.
That's 105.
I was about to call her Moonstar, and it's like, no, that's New Mutants, dude. Again, my brain is Swiss cheese. Why is it Swiss cheese? Well, here's a little short story for you. I have issues 2 through 4. I had issue 1. But back in my drinking days, this was the very last book that I intentionally destroyed because I was working on putting some stuff away. I put this down in my seat. I sat on it. I got really angry and I was very intoxicated. And I just keep beating the shit out of it and then ripped it up and went, well, I guess I only have issues 2 through 4 now. So my comic collecting journey has been a lot about getting books back that I either once sold because I wanted to stay in my apartment when I lost a job, or because I accidentally did something to it because that was a time period that I should not have been collecting. But now I'm in the best phase of collecting. I'm sober and I can put stuff away. And again, if you can afford the book, you can afford to properly protect it, sometimes from drunks. Don't let drunks in your room. All right, so here we have an issue 110 of Incredible Hulk. Umbu. I have a lot of Hulks. I had issue 102 through the 109. So when I saw 110, 111, yep, I guess I'm picking these up.
Man, early Hulk. I mean, if you're wanting Silver Age, early Bronze Age bargains, you can't do much better than that stuff. It's so good.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Reflective.
Cheap.
Yeah, even first appearances, unless they're bigger characters, they've all gone down for the most part. And right now, 2025, 2026 probably even. Right now is the best time to be a comic collector of some of these older things because others have either lost jobs or lost income or lost ways of storage, had to move, and now people that can are buying this stuff up.
And people get cranky when the value of their books go down and they get discouraged. And I hate to be an opportunist in that regard. That's a time to grab stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, right after you had the Orange Idiot start going, hey, Elon, go ahead and start firing everybody in our government and just dismantle everything. A lot of those government workers, I mean, I'm not saying every one of them, but at least like maybe 2%, let's say even 1% of everybody that lost jobs. You had a lot of people that were big time collectors, and you were seeing things earlier this year that would come up on auction maybe once, twice a year, sometimes not at all. And then you would see, hey, do you know what the first appearance of Ghost Rider is? And I don't mean Johnny Blaze. I mean the original from Tim Holt. I would see occasionally that 1 issue, 2 issues, they'd be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I saw one go for in about mid-grade for about $300 earlier this year. And I didn't have $300. So yeah, now's the best time to be collecting if you can. Be that opportunist, because you never know when you might need these books to be able to stay in your place. That's how I've looked at a lot of comics for a long time. I love reading. I love collecting, but I also know the reality that these things do cost money and people do buy them. And yeah, sometimes you might need that money for something, whether it's for a better book, a car payment, mortgage, whatever have you. Here we have a Michael Turner variant cover. This one is worth more than the regular one. So when I saw my shop owner go $8, yes. Especially Michael Turner. So I didn't know what this was. I didn't know it was a key when I got it. I just went $15. Yes. Okay, fine. This would have been a book for Kirk. For those that used to watch our show several years ago, Kirk was one of our best friends, still is. He's out there in California, and one of his favorite characters were the Inhumans. I didn't get it because I'm not a big fan of the Inhumans, but this is the origin of the Inhumans, and also the first time that the Terrigen Mists are introduced. Oh, and it has like the
what's the Circus of Crime? Come on.
Yes.
With the Ringmaster.
Love the D-listers. Love them.
Now, another thing about this book, I'm not going to open it up because that's just going to stop the show dead in its tracks, and we still got some Batman to talk about. If you open up to the first page and you look at Hulk, you're going to go, hey, that looks like Kamandi. Well, now you know where Kamandi came from. Now, if Lady was here, I would tell her this is an upgrade because I had this and I paid about the same, maybe a little bit more than I did for my book that I just upgraded from. This one I put it about, no, I didn't actually put a grade on these yet. This one should be about a 4, maybe a 4 or 5 at best. I'll do another look through just to make sure I'm not wrong. But the other one I had is a 3 where it's a little loose on the spine. So if Lady wants it, it's hers. First appearance of the record, Enchanted Crowbar. And not to be outdone, the second appearance of the record.
I got a fanboy out when I'm one of the few white men my age who actually loved She-Hulk, the MCU show. And when the Wrecking Crew showed up in She-Hulk, I just about lost it. I had a fanboy moment, the likes of which scared my wife to death.
And the weird thing about that show is that I'm glad that they put the Wrecking Crew in it. And I could be wrong about the guy's name. Was it Bulldozer? They made the black character a white guy.
Yeah, his Thunderball is the
Thunderball. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like they've been doing race swapping, which I'm cool with most of the time. But for the one character where they could have easily selected a black actor, they went, nope, let's make them all white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, you got Porcupine, you got El Aguila. I mean, there's a lot of cheesy villains in She-Hulk. I love it.
El Aguila from Power Man and Iron Fist 54. I mean, that was a deep cut. Got a Loki issue.
If I can advertise for a minute, I've got a video coming out in 10 days or so that's on D-list Marvel villains. It's one of my collecting quests is to get the first appearance of like cheesy Marvel villains from the 60s and 70s.
Oh, we're on the same page there.
Porcupine is on the list of the first video.
And Porcupine, I barely knew who that was until it was Kirk that went, I love Porcupine. And I'm looking over and going, who's Porcupine? Hey, other Kevin, Entropy in Comics. Greeting, community. When
There
it
you go.
went
Not to
down-
tease too much, but there it is. First porcupine. Yeah,
Oh,
boy.
right. And of course, it's an Ant-Man title.
Of course it is. And you just showed that up, and I have this out too, Wrecker, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to have the Beetle. You can't go without the Beetle, too, right?
I had to put the Beetle on hold because they've been saying they're going to be putting the Beetle in the new Spider-Man movie. And right.
We'll see. We'll see.
Now, this is the last book that was my back issue pickup. This is inside of Mylar. No special issue. It's just that those 20 centers, anything that is from the Silver Age or all the way up into 1972 when the size changed to be just a little bit smaller. All Silver Age and before goes inside of the Mylar. Everything else, unless it's a key, will now be going into the Mylites 2 all the way up until about 1992. Then I just leave them in the OPP because it's not newsprint. It's the newsprint that causes those OPP and bags to shrivel in bad humidity.
Bob, do you
Porcupine.
like the picture frame covers as much as I do?
I do. I don't have them all because I don't have. Well, I'm not a Star Wars collector, but I do realize that Ewoks, the Star covers, that those things were already low print, and by the time that they did those frame covers, they were not cheap anymore. Anybody got those Ewoks or droids?
No, I mean that Thor is in the picture frame. That era in the early 70s, Marvel did everything in that picture frame.
It's in that box down here that nobody can quite see, and it would be a few minutes to kind of pull it.
That's 1985. It's the 25 year.
That's 86. Yeah, you're thinking of the
86,
25th anniversary stuff. I'm thinking about the stuff in the 70s, the 20-cent covers, like the Thor you just had. It's in
the border covers. I got you.
Yeah. DC did those really, really well too. In that around that era, up into the 80s, they did them with the heads, the floating heads. They did them a lot with the Justice League books. Every time they'd have a JLA, JSA crossover.
I should do a video on my favorite floating heads video.
There's a lot of them.
I should, yeah.
And Kevin, I don't know if you were watching YouTube back in the day, like right in the beginning of the pandemic, there was this show from Boy Who Had Seven, I think it was called. And then he joined like a thing. So he did this thing called Comic Gories, where there was it would be about your collection, and there would be a topic like yellow covers, black covers, rainfall covers, kissing covers, death covers, and they'd pull the subject matter, and the 2 or 4 people on the screen, they would run to try and find a book to pull, and then the audience would vote on it, and it was one of the greatest shows that you could do. But as people started going back to work, it dropped off.
We should do that. We got enough books.
I want to do that.
Let's do it. I'm in. I'm
going to tell Lady Fantastic we're going to do mini comic gories towards the end of our shows now.
Let's do
I'm going to have to start making stuff up. It's not going to be real comic gories because the person who took that over, but it's really difficult to do because you need to coordinate all these people. But John's Comics with Kids, who was commenting at the very beginning of the episode, this is him right there. Sub him up if you haven't already. But the thing about doing comic gories is that if you win, that means you have to come back next week or like every 2 weeks. And for a lot of people, during the week when it was held on a Monday, hey, I had a thing come up, so the winner would be out, and then they're disqualified. And I guess people lost interest, or it was too hard to coordinate. But if we're just doing it for the people on the show here, it's not like we're doing it for prizes. We're just doing it to go, how well do you know your collection? It's like being a DJ.
Just to watch all of us scramble to our comic nerd areas. And
I mean,
I'd like to see you digging through your boxes behind you there looking for a floating heads cover. It'd be fun.
So Rod the Rican, when he was doing comic gories, I mean, he was one of my favorite people to watch doing it because he would go, I hate comic gories. I hate comic gories because the next thing would come up and he'd get so over riddled with anxiety that he would try and pull stuff and people would drop books. 9/8 that they had would be like in their hand and then it drops on the table and cracks it. So I'd be telling people, hey, at the end of the show here, it doesn't matter who wins because if you destroy the book, you're out some money. So don't hurt the comics. No comic was hurt in the making of this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to show some Batman books and close out?
Yeah, I only pulled like 3 Batman books to show. They're just my 3 of my oldest Batman books.
I did about the same. I just grabbed what was behind me because they were up there.
Yeah.
But Kevin said that he only has a couple. So do you want to go first?
Yeah, let's see.
Sure. And full disclosure, Batman is not my favorite character. I know. Not my favorite character. But that being said, I just pulled 2. I pulled my favorite.
Nope. Stop talking. Go to jail.
I know. I pulled my favorite Batman story and my favorite Batman cover. And my favorite Batman cover is not what you think it is, right? So my favorite Batman story, Mad Love, of course. I love it. Paul Dini, Bruce Timm. You can't go wrong. I'm a huge fan of the animated series, the first one. And so this really is true to that. I got it signed by Paul Dini. You can see right there. I love this story. It's first printing. Fantastic book. And my favorite Batman cover, you're going to laugh. It's Batman 199, which is a fourth wall cover. I love fourth wall covers. I don't know if you can read it or not, but he says, "Quick, let me have a copy of Batman comics. It's a matter of life or death. Mine." And this dude who looks like a gangster of some kind chomping on his cigar. "Boy, Batman, I'm all sold out of it."
Uh-oh.
Breaks the fourth wall. I love
Big time problems there.
it. Seriously.
Big time problems.
That's all I brought, just 2.
All right, let's put that back here. All right, Miracleman, when you're ready.
Yeah, so I just pulled 3 of my oldest, but I think I might have 1 or 2 that are this vintage that I didn't pull out. But I just went to my Batman section that was filed and pulled my 3 oldest issues. And there's 3 pretty good ones. There's a great cover right here, 168. Mr. Mammoth knocking Batman.
That's a great cover. I love it.
Isn't it? Fantastic. I love it. Such a good cover. This one I like a lot as well because it also has, and I didn't realize this until now, but the next 2 were actually subscription books. They're pretty nice, pretty light on the subscription crease. This is 186, and there is his little sidekick right there. The Joker's
First and only appearance until Tom King.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't, when Tom King did it, I went, holy shit, I actually have that book. It's actually a pretty good story for, Batman stories of the era. Very much clown prince of crime Joker in this.
Joker's boners.
And then everybody will like this one. Batman 194.
Of course, yeah.
With our man Blockbuster.
Just the logo covers are also a favorite of mine.
Oh, and it's just such a beautiful book. This is a really great copy. The red is still really bright. I think I bought this book for like $18. Got a really good deal on it. It was probably 20-ish years ago that I bought it. But it's actually a really good story too, which, let's just be honest, Batman stories at the time weren't typically really great stories, but this one's actually really good. If you get a chance to get one, I really recommend it. It is first appearance of a big time villain. We used a big time villain for a while.
He was used in Tom Taylor's Nightwing run, so yeah, still big. Still used.
This is the original Blockbuster. This Blockbuster died in Legends. It was the first Suicide Squad mission, the first villain, first one made up of incarcerated villains. He died fighting Brimstone. their first casualty. But again, really, really good story. Highly recommend it. And now to you, Mr. Worst.
All right. I didn't pull a lot of these just because the top 10 had a bunch of them in there, and I didn't know who was going to be coming tonight. And I had a long ass week. So I pulled off what was in the back there. Plus, I did a short, which anybody that's been watching the channel for a while, just last week, we finally hit over 1,000 subs. I dropped a video this week where it was Batgirl first appearances and keys. And if you check out our shorts, it's something that I do post daily. And one of the ones today of this week was 5 Batgirl keys and first appearances. And here we go. I'm going to show at least a couple of them and a few others. And I guess I'll make another Batman video tomorrow once I get this camera proper. Fun times. Without destroying my Silver Surfer, that would be important. So here we have it with our Batman Day. We have the first appearance of Batgirl because they needed to introduce Batgirl at the same time as the TV show was premiering because they didn't want to have they wanted to capitalize on it, and they did a pretty good job. I even put this here in a see-through back.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And this is what my Doug copy.
Fuck you, Doug.
First. Fucking Doug.
Fuck you, Doug.
Jackass.
All right. And people that like, because who is my favorite comic book character really of all time? Not Batgirl, not Oracle. It's Barbara Gordon.
Oh, you
Why?
Yes.
Because back when I was in high school, I broke my neck. And then I was paralyzed for the better part of a year. So people were bringing me comic books in the hospital, just like when I was shot for the first time by my uncle way back when in 1987 or so. And somebody went, "Hey, did you know that there's a paralyzed superhero?" I'm like, ooh. Are we talking Silhouette from New Warriors? Like, yes, her too. But also Barbara Gordon. What are you talking about? Do you know who Oracle is? Like, I've heard of her. And that's when I started getting all these Batman books in the 90s.
Now,
So
listen, that's a pretty heavy story, and I don't want to cheapen it, but if I can just back up here real quick and get back to that prick Doug. Listen here, Doug. I hope you're still alive, you son of a bitch. I hope you're alive and that your sciatica acts up every single day.
I got a few of those too.
Sciaticas?
No, Doug's. Except
both.
Names written on covers.
Yeah, it happened to us all.
So the next time so the way that this happens is that way back in the day, you wound up having the editor, and I'm forgetting his name. I think it might be Julie Schwartz. I could be wrong, but he was telling the writer, "Go ahead, Alan Moore. You can," to quote him, "cripple the bitch," because I don't like using bitch in terms of a woman. I'd rather call a man a bitch because it's fun. So Alan Moore in The Killing Joke wound up having the Joker shoot Barbara Gordon as she answers the door because Joker was after her father. He had no idea she was Batgirl. So the first time you see her as Oracle, the first time the name is used is in Suicide Squad number 23. But they only call her Oracle. You don't see Oracle. It just becomes a backup character that is the person in the chair, the guy in the chair, because you don't know who it is. In issue 38, that's when there's a cut on the final page to Barbara Gordon with a little Batman doll hanging off the side, and she's weeping. And that lets us know that Oracle has been Barbara Gordon. So she becomes the guy in the chair, the woman in the chair. That's right. F-U-N, you hot dogs, Tug. Good Lord. Oh my God, how much? I've missed quite a few chats here. Fought for that first appearance of Batgirl in a long box at an auction last year. Auction house didn't know it was in there, but dealer had deeper pockets than me. Hey, just the best way. Oh, this will probably be my my comic book tip for tomorrow. that if you are looking for these books that are over $100 or so, we are competing with investor type collectors, people that are investing in the stock market and crypto. So if you see the stock market drops about 300 points or more at the end of the week, most people will be keeping their money in the stock market because they don't want to lose out on a loss. So they keep it in there and they don't take their money out to play. When the stock market is up, yeah, you're going to be competing with those investor class collectors. So when you see it drop 300 points or more, chances are you're not going to have to fight as hard or compete with those investor class collectors. So chances are just save up that money and wait for a week that the stock market drops badly. Doug is the kind of guy who only tips 5%. Hey, if it's a restaurant, it's 20. If it's at your vape shop and it starts at 20, then 35 and 50%, they get nothing. Sorry, I'm weird on tipping. Tipping should be for actual service, not working behind a register. Sorry. That's my thought, and I could be wrong, but at the same time, if you wanted those tips, go be a server. But then again, they're not getting paid a lot, which is why they need those tips.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah, and he thought it was Green Lantern. Green Lantern still is like one of my favorites. It's probably number 2 because he's about willpower. Willpower is not an emotion, but I like that. Green Lantern. Top that, Rob? No, he's dead. Okay. Just making sure I'm getting all these guys. Doug is the kind of guy who argues that landlord counts as a job. I mean, if you're fighting people and if you have to sweat, it's a job. If it's golfing and you get into a golf cart, it's a drinking game. Guys, I have a million burning hole in my question. If anyone has Action Comics one, yeah, go ahead. Michael has $1 million now. Can I hit you up for some cash? I could use a more fun comics number 52. All right, so this next one I wanted to show here is part of that Batgirl video I did. What this is here is after that Suicide Squad 38, where you now know that it's Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, they started using Oracle in the Bat Family comics. But there really wasn't much of an origin story as between Killing Joke and Suicide Squad. So Kim Yale and Ostrander, Kim Ostrander too, because was the wife. So they got the opportunity. What happened? Am I screwing up that badly? What did I say?
No, I'm just reading Miracle's comments. He's killing me.
Oh, Lord. So this is the definitive origin between Killing Joke and Barbara Gordon acting as Oracle. You even have Batman showing up outside her door and it's like, you didn't even come to visit me, you prick. It's an emotional story. It's great. It's part of an anthology. You can get this for $3, maybe even $5. It is Batman Chronicles number 5. It's a great story. And for people that are fans of Barbara Gordon, this is a must-have, and I don't see people talking about it enough.
Hey, Rob, since you're stuck on Barbara Gordon, can I add one to the list?
Absolutely.
I think this book is fantastic. It's flown under the... let me turn my camera back on. It's flown under the radar for a long time, and it's the Black Canary Oracle Birds of Prey. This is
prototype.
Such a good story.
Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah, good stuff.
Gary Frank too, at his prime.
I have that. I just don't know if I have that under my showcase, under my Black Canary. It's somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it, or it would have been part of the video. So the next thing I pulled, this was part of that stuff that was up on my wall of shame, is Joker. No first appearance. It's just that they finally introduced Joker rather than his Joker's boners from the one that Miracleman showed earlier, where he had his henchmen and he was just being fun with his crimes. No, nothing violent here. He is a psychopathic killer again, and it's great. And he's been that way pretty much for the most part ever since. Next up, we have Ra's al Ghul's first appearance, or Ra's al Ghul. Depends which you watched first, whether it was Dark Knight or the original Batman the Animated Series. If you watched the original Batman the Animated Series, it was Ra's al Ghul. If it was Dark Knight, it's Ra's al Ghul. Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? I don't care. If you have the first appearance, whatever way you call it is probably right. Sitting Link says 1986, $20. Not bad. Wow. Doug goes to his family reunions to hook up. I mean, if he's living in Arkansas or Florida, and I can say that because I live in Florida. Here is my first appearance of Man Bat that I got for $15 at my store because my shop owner did not care about Man Bat, and it had this big old crease on the side that drops the quality. And then I had this terrible comic book shop that I used to go to for a long period of time that I got my Action Comics 252 in, where some guy brought in a small stack of unbagged, unboarded comics, and it had it in there. And he says, I'll give you $100. And I said, I want that book, the 252. It's like, come back in a day and we'll have a price for you. He charged me $2,000. He ripped people off. So this next one here I got from him. I think I paid $800 for it. It's pretty high grade. It has a couple little wrinkles and such in it that could probably be easily pressed out, but he originally wanted $1,600 for it, and then there was a hurricane that was coming. So what happened? He was saying, yeah, I got a leak and the back door doesn't fully close. So I'm like, how about $1,200? It's like, no, I'm going to wait for $1,600. And every week he just kept complaining that it's hurricane season. And then finally, 2017, I think it was September 10th. That was when Hurricane Irma is about to hit. So I offered him, I have $800 cash on me now. And he goes, okay. So sometimes cash is king. That's why we bring cash, because sometimes they need the money more than they give a shit about the book. And people that are sellers, if they're looking at it as inventory, sometimes you're able to get it. If they're looking at it as, I need to save this book for nostalgia and make the most amount of money, well, they're going to be sitting on books for freaking ever. Doug does the wave at urinals of a baseball game. We really hate Doug, don't we?
Fuck Doug. Fucking douchebag.
Fucking Doug. So those were all the ones that I pulled. I could have grabbed the Batman Almost Got Him. I've showed that a million times. I could have pulled the Batman Adventures 12 that I got for CovrPrice, because Batman Adventures was the very first comic that I collected the entirety of as it was coming out. And then it was Sandman afterwards.
Yeah. Rob,
Rob, we were just talking about you.
We all have one book that we had that before it was worth anything, and we gave it away or did something with it and regret it in the future. It's Batman Adventures 12 for me. I gave that run away to some kids, and now look at it.
That's what Doug did, Lynx.
I don't have a gave a book away story, but while I certainly got memories that were more than worth letting it go, I still think every day about my Walking Dead #1.
Same.
And I sold it at peak. I made the money. I did what you're supposed to do as a comic guy.
I got $100 for it.
I got $2,300 for that book.
Fuck you.
It was a
9.8. Your ass, pour sugar in your gas tank.
And
Anally grape your grandmother.
Oh, wow, Jesus. That's tough. Always
we're going full mall rats tonight.
Always right to the Greek grape. And took my family on a cruise. It was totally worth it. It was absolutely worth it. But I still think about that book every single day. Now, you know what book I don't feel bad about having sold? I've only ever sold 5 books in my entire life. The one that I did not feel bad about was Panzerfaust. Panzerfaust was an Image book.
I know what it is, but did that come back up in price, or can you still get it for $5-10 again now?
I sold it at peak when BBC announced they were optioning it, and I got 200 bones for that book. Damn! And it was the whole time I'm laughing as the book is going up and up and up and up and up on eBay. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. This book is trash. I have never felt more comfortable getting rid of a comic in my entire life. I have comics that are destroyed, and I bought replacement copies that I can't throw away because it would kill me inside. And I couldn't sell that Peter Panzerfaust book fast enough. That book sucked so hard. That thing sucked worse than the bubonic plague. That thing sucks so bad, it made a HUAC trial seem reasonable. That thing sucks so bad, Michael Emond liked it.
Ouch. What do you say to that, Michael?
He doesn't say shit because he ain't here, bitch.
I appreciate the laughs, guy. I needed it after this shit week.
All right. So is there anything anybody wanted to show more Batman stuff? Again, just to reiterate to everybody, tomorrow is Batman Day at your local comic store. Not all shops are participating, so you might want to look into whether or not your shop is actually doing it or not. Michael likes Doug more than you, which I guess considering the war you have and the beef, gotta squash that. Hey, Rod. And yes, what we were talking about before was comic gories. We might do something like that on our show, not where it's we bring people and compete and make it rolling how it once was back during the pandemic, but maybe we'll invite somebody on the show occasionally just to play it too, because the larger the collection you have, the more fun it can be. And it's not about showing like your $1,000 book. You need to sell it to the audience. It's like, hey, this is an awesome cover and this is why. And my competitor over here, his is shit and this is why. And the audience votes, and there you go.
No, it's like, show me a cover that has Aquaman on it that is not Aquaman. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that.
It's kind of like, I probably have one or two, but I'd really have to look.
Yeah, I mean,
that's something that I would have to like consult with others and not tell you all, so that way when we show this is what the subject matter is, go and run and grab your book. If we know what the subject matter it is, it's kind of cheating for everybody else in the show that does.
You got to invite someone on to be a moderator, and that moderator and the rest of the people on the show will be contestants, and that moderator will go, okay, I want to see a book that has She-Hulk on it wearing her purple and white swimsuit costume, something like that.
The moderator has to make the list. None of us can make them. None of the contestants can be involved.
Which means that since I run this, I have a lot of books, but I don't want to cheat against everybody else by knowing what the subject is.
But we can rotate the moderators if we do it more than once.
We could do that.
Yeah, like I have Michael. Sorry, Miracleman. I have Michael, who also has co-mod chair because he's usually here every single week, and whenever I'm showing stuff, he can be putting the comments up on the screen so everybody can see what you're talking about. If I could only buy a couple more chairs for others. Otherwise, yeah. Make sure to check tomorrow with your local comic shop to see if they're going to be doing Batman Day. Otherwise, there's plenty of shops. Hit several of them up. Remember, there's that DC Batman sampler that has Red Hood split, and people are already selling that for $25. If you're able to find one for free or pay the $5 to get it, please do, because out of rarity stuff, that's going to be the one that's probably going to be harder to find than anything. Yeah. There's also the DC Connect that was advertising it. A lot of people throw those away, and as we know from the first front-facing image of Miles Morales on a Marvel previews that went to several $1,000s during the pandemic, we don't throw our previews away anymore because of that.
Oh, I do. I throw them away gleefully.
I still do it, and every time I do it, I go, fuck you, Miles Morales.
That's right. I go through it, I look right down what I want, and then it goes in the can.
Sometimes I use it to start fires in my fire.
There you go. Sometimes I use it to line my bird cage.
Sometimes I use it to chalk the tires on an old busted down RV. Sometimes I use it in place of that duck money those filthy Canadians have.
I make paper airplanes out of mine.
Sometimes I use it to make little boats and float them down the Chesapeake Bay. Sometimes I use it.
Everybody, subscribe and hit that notification button. I want to thank everybody that watched tonight. Don't forget to take a look at our comic book shorts. New shorts are posted daily and whatnot. We showed a bunch of smut tonight. We do read you to filth because we are the Not Near Mint show. And again, Thank you for watching. After this show, I know the low grades are live right now. Jig's Kingdom might be going live a little bit later, and Cliff on Comics might be live as well. There's a lot of others that were on. We might have dropped off from viewers earlier tonight because right tonight, as we were going live, about 2-3 minutes after Comic Tom dropped his top 10 list. So that's a good reason because he's a lot more personable than I am.
Hey, Rob, can I say this before we go? I really appreciate you inviting me on the show. I've been on 4 or 5 of them now. I'm digging it. I appreciate y'all give me some time.
Hey, I gotta ask real
Absolutely.
quick before the show ends. Did you say personable? Did you just put the emphasis on the wrong syllable?
Syllable, yes, I did.
Aha. Okay.
When you talk fast, it's because my brain is Swiss cheese. I have a cat over here that I need to pay attention to, and I'm drinking a lot of energy drinks. Don't be like me. One day I'm going to be on this show and go,
So you're basically blaming it all on speed and pussy.
yes.
All right. All right. And to that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, NBs, and everything else, thank you very much for joining us on the Not Near Mint Show.
Absolutely. We'll be back September 26th for Old Comic Book Day because let's face it, every day, if it's not New Comic Book Day on a Wednesday, it's Old Comic Book Day. 26th, next Friday, our usual time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Let us know if you have any of the comic books that you saw on the show tonight. Drop a comment if there's anything you'd like to see on the show. We're going to try and incorporate those comic gories. Kevin Freeman is now part of the crew. You can find him on BlueSky. He's KSF PhD because he's a doctor. We got a doctor in the house. That's why he's on the show. We got a doctor, not Doctor Who. It would be cooler if he had a TARDIS.
I just have a PhD.
You can find him on YouTube at KSF PhD as well. Again, thank you all for watching. One more time back with the chat. Let's see what people are saying. Doug once went to Canada and dumped all the maple syrup. Great show. Thanks, Michael. You helped make it that way because you're your comedian self. Thank you. You guys are hilarious. Thank you, Sitting Links. You are now a mod. Anybody that's been on the show, watching the show, as long as you're not harassing others, we make you a mod because we're all alike, similar, because we pick up different books. Doesn't matter what it is. We're into comics. We're not here to gatekeep because we need to have more new, fresh blood. Otherwise, all our stuff is going to be worthless and we'll die. And it'll be like Heather saying, first person to come pick this shit up.
A kid from Texas. Come on. Who the hell reads that besides me? No one. No one.
You do. Just you. I mean, I'd probably get a few of those once I have more money, but I've had cat problems that I need to bring her to the vet for. So priorities. And I think that's why Comic Tom also says, geek responsibly, because sometimes you'll need that money for some real stuff, not just our fantasy lives collecting comics or fantasy football or whatever. Never quite as good as when you're with us, Michael. Love you, buddy. Thanks, Links. Every collection needs a guard cat. Mine abandoned his post.
Wild.
Damn
Wild.
cat.
Right. All right, so that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I guess we will be back next week and putting up this graphic, and we will see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.